What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Press X Podcast, episode 87, your weekly podcast for gaming news and opinions come at you each and every Monday at noon Eastern. I am Kevin McManus. With me today, Craig Johnson.
Back again.
Nick Hassell.
It's early.
It is. This is an early filming for us. I like it.
I'm liking this non-2 a.m. business.
You're welcome.
There's exactly one person to blame for all of that.
And he's dead.
Possibly. So some housekeeping things that I want to just mention. Top 3DS games list that we do, our rankings of the 3DS games is in the works. We should, in the next month, I would say.
It'll be
coming out
soon.
And I also want to start doing, not a new style of video, but an opinion-based video that's top rankings of different things. So like series, different, like the best games in a series ranked to the worst games in a specific series. So like the Silent Hill games and the Mega Man games or Kingdom Hearts or maybe like the Star Wars movies, like different things like that in a similar fashion. So I already have a couple of those in the works, but any suggestions on anything like that would be sweet. So moving on, let's talk about what we've been playing, and I'm going to start off with a game that we played last week. We brought it up last week, and we played it after the podcast, and I'm kind of glad we did because it would have been all we talked about on the podcast.
That's all we're going to talk about today.
We were so hyped on it, and that is Night Trap.
Yeah.
Got Night Trap from Limited Run Games, cracked it open, because Craig opens his Limited Run games like a good boy.
I don't give a darn about sealed games. Open
you
them
can say
all.
damn. It's okay.
Darn.
What did we think about Night Trap?
Night Trap.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Watch out behind you.
It was, so I think my thing that I thought was really neat about it was, I ordered it because me and you had been kind of talking about it, but I didn't look up anything. I didn't know what the story was. I didn't know what the game was going to look like or what style of game it even was. I literally walked into this game knowing zero.
And I was at the opposite side of the spectrum. I knew this game well before it came out. It's something that I forgot about, obviously, because it's not like in my mind all the time or anything. But I knew what the game was. I watched the documentary on it. I know like how it ties into the ESRB and that scene and all that stuff. So I was super excited going in, and I'm gonna say you were kind of like in the middle.
Well, I mean, I'm old enough to remember it and remember that I couldn't buy it or have it bought for me, I guess, since I was a kid. But I never played it since then, and I never bothered watching like videos and stuff on it. So as far as like actually seeing it and play, I was brand new to it, but I knew the history of it and what it was.
Yeah, so we were all kind of in a different place, and I have to say it exceeded my expectations, which is crazy because I actually had high expectations. I was expecting to really like this game. I was planning this night for a while. I was like, we're going to all play Night Trap. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
And I think it was more fun than I thought it would be, which is crazy.
I actually thought that it was way better playing it in the atmosphere we did with the four of us than it would have been if I had just cracked it open the night I got it and played it alone.
Right.
Us playing together, it was so neat just having...
It's a party game.
Yeah,
for sure.
It was great just having the way it interacted.
It is as equal to watching a terrible horror movie with a bunch of people. You don't go home by yourself and be like, I want to watch a cheesy horror movie and like sit down on the couch and enjoy that. You bring a bunch of people, you have some beers, and you make fun of it. You're having a fun time, and that's what we did, and it was great. We went through it. We beat it a couple times. I think we went through it twice completely.
Yes.
Yeah. And we failed a whole bunch. We didn't look up anything. We were just going at it until we beat it.
And we did beat it. Thank you, Kellen.
Yeah, Kellen was...
he was a beast.
Well,
he was really
we
good.
started off basically, here, you play until you fail or lose.
Real quick, let's just recap how the gameplay works so people know. Yeah. So basically, there's 8 different cameras set up in this house, and there's these vampire augur guys that walk like real silly. And they'll start appearing in different areas of the houses, and there's a button that's literally a trap that will trap them. And you need to look at the cameras and jump to the camera that you see one in and then trap them at the right time and catch them. There's a couple tricks going on. Like there's maybe a good person will walk over the trap and you don't want to trap them because you'll get a game over, things like that. But that is the general gameplay. There's
and the game
warns
stories. You, it flashes a light when they're like close to the trap and you have that little short time window before you can activate it.
But there's multiple stories going on at the same time, and that's what kind of gives it a bit of replay value is you can piece together the story because you need to like watch one scene and hear them changing the security codes that you need to change. But at the same time, there's somebody going and you need to get to that scene or to that area and lock them in with one of the traps. So it gives it replayability because you can see different scenes at different times because they're all playing at the same time.
Yeah.
And if you're playing correctly, then you won't see like anything.
Most of it, yeah. But this awesomely had a theater mode that lets you watch them after you've completed the game. You can unlock that. There's a lot of extras to this. There's documentary stuff. There's theater mode. There's the original game that kind of spawned this, their pitch to Hasbro. You can play through that, which we did not do yet. So it's a complete package. It's totally worth it. I think it's $15 on PSN, and it's impossible to find now physical. But
eBay.
It's awesome. Very recommended. That's how the gameplay works. Okay, now how did we like it?
I think it's the best party game we've played.
It's really good.
Yeah. Like not just like the usual kind of like, hey, let's do Mario Party real quick, or hey, let's do Splatoon. Like everything, especially the ones that we've built nights around. So one of your favorite PS4 games, I think it was your game of the year.
It was
2 years back.
It still is.
So yeah, I just think it's the best. Yeah, Until Dawn.
Thanks.
You played the roller coaster one at least. Even though I won Until Dawn from our group, I still think this one was better. And I like how we transitioned from everyone, okay, you start and play until you fail and then pass it. I liked how we had like 2 players and 2 like people,
coaches.
two people calling out stuff, because there were certain parts where it wasn't very obvious like what to do, because we would be like, why did we fail that?
Yeah, you can mess something up and it won't matter for like 3 or 4 more
Yeah.
minutes, and then it's like, oh, it's because we did this 3 minutes ago, and that's
And
why
it triggers like a bad ending. Like,
because when you're sitting there playing, like you have to have your eyes on the 8 cameras in the bottom of the screen and what's going on in front of you, so you don't have time to like think. So I like the 2 people. We had 4, us 3 and Kellen. I liked me and Craig eventually kind of pulling back and just like calling stuff out, saying, hey, camera 1 or bedroom or kitchen, something like that.
I really liked that one interaction where, and to avoid spoilers, there was one individual character who was being taken away, and we kept seeing it happen, and we knew it was happening, but we never did anything about it, and we kept getting a bad ending, and then I was like, no, there's something there we need to do. And so Kellen specifically went there and saved that person, and it got rid of that ending we were getting. But it's like little things like that where you don't think something's affecting it, but it does.
Yeah, you're like, oh, we just can't save them. And we kept going, and like 20 plays later, we're like, oh, you can save them.
Yeah.
There is a way to do it.
We've wasted a lot of time here.
And like you said, it's not like I failed at minute mark 20, so 19:30, I need to watch that room.
It could have happened a few minutes ago.
It could have been like 12 minutes or something, like the pieces that set up.
So to highlight on that, though, it's like a 23-minute playthrough, 23, 25.
Yeah,
25, I think.
And
do it correctly.
There's a save point at 15-something or 13-something.
It's halfway.
Which is good, because there were a lot of times where if we had to go back to 0, I do not think we would have finished.
Well, yeah, probably. I mean, or we would have looked something up.
Yeah, exactly.
But I liked that. It's modernized. The new footage is really pretty. When they show some of the old footage, it is rough,
pixelated.
They show all the new footage. They have different like new borders and things for it. New camera styles so that they're live cameras instead of just photos.
When we went to play the old version and we saw that the cameras didn't update live, when
we shut that off real quick.
I was like, how did anybody actually play this?
Yeah,
you just need a notepad and write down when they show up, I guess. I mean, honestly, that's probably what you do. But yeah, it exceeded my expectations. I think it's totally worth the price. I think it's campy fun if you're okay with things like Until Dawn, like that campy, silly
I
horror
basically
stuff.
called it live
80s.
Action Scooby-Doo.
That is
as far as the villains creeping around. I think I called it Power Rangers as well with the Putty Patrol or whatever.
Both very accurate.
Like, it seems like a combination of that TV show and Scooby-Doo. And
that
it's
TV show.
Yeah, that too, I guess. Just a live action one. But yeah, it's ridiculous. When I wasn't calling out stuff and just like watching the normal gameplay, I was laughing my ass off the entire time.
It was good.
I think our 2 favorite parts were the 2 auger guys high-fiving and then the girl
look
turning
for
around.
that. You might miss it, but they high-five and it's hilarious.
It's only 1 second, one scene in the hallway, and then there's in the same hallway, one of the girls, when you trap somebody, turns around and goes, yeah, and it's just
there's some people
hilarious.
giving thumbs ups to the cameras.
It goes about 10 minutes and then it just breaks the fourth wall completely.
Yeah.
You feel like you're just actually kind of standing there and they're talking to you, like they're looking directly at you, and everyone else is going, who's there? Who are you talking to? So
yeah, it's great.
It's ridiculous.
Highly recommended.
Oh, yeah.
Even Kellen went home. He's like, I'm going to buy this. This is pretty good. Besides that, I'm just gonna go through my stuff real quick, and then we can go in a circle. I went through Resident Evil 7 again. I was bored one day. I was like, I'm just gonna go through that, and I can beat that game really quickly. So I just ran through that.
Yeah, that's what it's good for. Is just a quick run through.
I beat Shovel Knight: Spectre of Torment, which was that expansion that I started a few weeks back. I finally went back and beat it. I do think that it's the best expansion to a game that I've played.
Did you play the Plague one, the other one?
Yes, I didn't like that one very much. I really like this one. I think it's as good as the main campaign.
Cool.
It's really awesome, and somehow it's got like a touching story, which is weird because it's like an 8-bit thing, but they tie it into, so basically the way it works is Shovel Knight, you play through the story, you beat the 8 guys. It's very much like Mega Man. You beat the 8 knights, you beat the final villain, it ends, whatever, you save the person you're trying to save. That's, it's an 8-bit game. But then this one sets up the villains, so they're prequels. So it's how they became that villain and why they're fighting and what they're fighting for. And it's actually just really interesting. Yeah. Plague Knight's story was cool, and there was really cool charm and stuff. The problem that I had with Plague Knight was the gameplay. It was all based in arcs. So, like, you jump in arcs and then you double jump and I just didn't like the platforming of it at all. This one is, like, you skateboard and you can wall jump. It's more like Ninja Gaiden. Like, you can run up walls and jump back and forth. And there's grind rails that you can skateboard on. And it's just a lot more fun. And they make you overpowered by the end of it, which is cool. You get, like, teleports and stuff, so...
They also released the trailer for the King Knight one.
Right, yeah.
And they put that there's a card game mechanic in it.
Oh, yeah, they made a card game.
Which is
I'm so excited.
It's pretty crazy.
But yeah, so Spectre of Torment's awesome. It's free if you bought the normal one, or if you buy it now, you get it. So it's definitely worth the money. And then the final thing is I've been playing RuneScape again. I brought that up real quickly on the show, but I just have a story. I already told you, but I have a story to tell about RuneScape. If you're going to play RuneScape, which is a MMO that is just clicking, it's perfect for a phone. It's coming out to phone. They're doing betas. But it's perfect for just clicking. It's a great secondary game. You're watching a movie, you can play that. You're waiting in the lobby for Splatoon, you can just click on a tree and it'll cut down the tree while you're waiting. Things like that. And it's all skill-based. I mean, not skill-based like talent. Skill-based like you have a woodcutting skill, a mining skill, a smithing skill, a crafting, all that stuff. And you just be like, today I want to mine, and you go mine. Today I want to fish, and you go fishing, whatever. It's not focused solely on combat. I guess that's the best way to put it. So I started playing it with my niece, and she's obviously a female character in the game. And if you're going to play RuneScape, just make a female character. Because... some guy was in this area, he was at a very high level, and he's like, buying girlfriend. That's like a RuneScape joke, is that people used to buy girlfriends on that thing. So I was in party chat with her on PlayStation, and I'm like, log into this world and come here and tell this guy you want to be his girlfriend. And she goes, okay. And she logged in and talked to him, and he gave her membership to the site because we were playing free to play. So now she's a member. He gave her a couple million in coins, which I've been playing for a few weeks, and I just hit 1 million. So she has a couple million now. And she didn't do shit for it. So just play as a girl and trade high levels when they ask, when they say buying girlfriend. She bought, total tangent, but she buys garlic for no reason. It doesn't do anything in the game, but she thinks it's funny to trade people garlic. And then I run up and go, buying garlic for some like outrageous price, and the people get really excited and go trade her and then go give it to me just because we're idiots. And she traded him garlic. That's how it started. And she ended up with millions. So there you go. Make a female account, buy some garlic, and trade high levels. Best game ever.
RuneScape tips.
No, it's pretty funny. I'm jealous she's a member, though. That's about it for me. I've played other things. Like, I've hopped back into Uncharted 4's multiplayer.
Yeah.
I am, humble brag, I am really good at that multiplayer. It's probably the only multiplayer I would say I'm really good at. I think I'm 20-0 right now, still coming back. I haven't lost. I don't know what it feels like to lose. I've played all their new game modes. I played King of the Hill. Can't touch me. Played Deathmatch. You can't get me. I love the Uncharted multiplayer. I need to play more. Because, like I said, it is the only multiplayer.
I kind of want to log in just to beat you so you can shut up.
That won't happen.
If you want to beat Kevin, comment below and challenge him.
Yeah, put your PSN
I'll take them.
tag down below.
I'll take 'em.
No, yeah, I went back into it, and I was just super surprised at how easily it clicked for me getting back into that. Everything's just so fluid to me, and that it's my favorite multiplayer still.
It's like riding a bike.
Yeah. And then I also found out that you can look up your Splatoon stats on your phone, which I didn't know, on the app. And
the Nintendo
yeah,
multiplayer.
like it shows your kill death ratio and stuff.
Oh, cool.
So that was cool. I have a 5.0 on that, which I don't think is actually very good. It sounds like it's good. I don't actually think that's very good for that game. I think that's like average. Yeah. But yeah, that's all I've been playing. Just dabbling in other things. But
you want me to go?
I want you to go.
Okay. So I've actually only played one game since, other than Night Trap. I don't really count that because we all played that together. But
we experienced that.
Yeah, it was a moment.
It played us.
No, I picked up Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle.
How's that?
I love it. I think it's great. So I think one of my biggest things with a lot of games, as it's probably been relevant as I've talked to you guys, is I get very, very distracted and bored with games a lot. I'll pick them up, play for 30 minutes to an hour, and just go, nah, and I'll put it down and never pick it up again. I actually really like this game.
Please turn back on Danganronpa.
I'm going to pick that one up. For those highlighting, I did pick up Danganronpa 1 and 2, whatever it's called, on PS4, Reloaded, because Kevin told me I should play it. I started 1, literally got about 5-10 minutes into it, and just went, I don't have the time to devote to this.
The problem is, hey, I mean, you need to play it all kind of in one go. Yeah. It's a mystery. Yeah. So, like, if you forget things, by the time you get to the end of it, you're going to be confused about what they're talking about. It was just so much text and talking, and I only had like 30 minutes to sit and I was like, I'm not doing this right now. But anyway, so yeah, Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle. It's very, very good. I knew a lot of people who were reviewing it online were comparing it to XCOM. Mm-hmm. I never played XCOM, so I never really got the comparison. But it does remind me of, from when I played Final Fantasy Tactics. Very, very similar. The humor in it's actually better than I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be very terrible and gimmicky, and it's actually pretty funny and interesting. The gameplay is good. They play it in Mario style, where it's in worlds, like World 1, 1, 1, 2. So I went through and thought the first couple worlds, like 1 and 2, were just tutorial. And then it started to get a little bit tougher, and I was like, oh, that's all right. And then by the time I finished World 1 completely, it drastically increased the difficulty. Things started getting a lot more difficult. One of the things is that you can move around on the board on a bunch of tiles, and you obviously have different cover and ways you can protect yourself. And one thing that each of your characters get are abilities. So you can do certain things, like Mario can like increase the attack power of all the people within a certain range for one turn. Yeah. Or like you can do something where you have everyone's increased running, or like Mario will have it where you activate for one turn, where if an enemy moves in your line of sight, you get an extra attack on him instantly. But then, so once you get out of World 1, all the enemies also get those abilities, and it just increases the difficulty pretty drastically, and I like it a lot. I think this is going to be a game that I actually go through and not only beat the whole way, but I might even try to complete it. There's a little completionist collection things. They kill Mario off forever if he dies.
No, there's they do the thing where you can get little like collectibles throughout chests and stuff throughout the game, and they have a little thing in the home world where you can see how close you are. Yeah. So I might go through and do that. It's pretty interesting. I like it so far. But yeah, I would highly recommend, if you have a Switch, that is definitely a game you should pick up. Yeah, it's great.
Lots of cinematics, at least at the start of the game.
Yeah.
I like, because I only get to play this for a little bit, I like how it's just fluid. Like, you're running along, doing a Mario level, and then a battle pops up. Mm-hmm. And then as soon as it's over, you're running along again and opening stuff up and, just doing the Mario thing. So it's like fluid, and it's not more like a Fire Emblem where you sit there for 30 minutes and dialogue, move a few things on the screen, and then a battle starts. It's just like constant. So that's what I like about it so far.
There's a really good transition too. Like, you could be walking and then it'll just instantly go cinematic, instantly right into battle, and it doesn't feel awkward.
And it feels nice to play it on handheld.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think I would even touch it on docked.
That's important. I don't like, if I was doing reviews or something for Switch, it's kind of weird. You kind of got to be like, it's really good in handheld, it's not good in handheld. The Pro Controller is the best thing for the Pro Controller.
I almost feel like you have to review it two different ways, honestly.
I agree. I think that there's definitely certain games that are, like, I think a lot of people, myself included, I mean, I think the only game you could really say is 50-50 is Zelda. Because I think a lot of people really, really liked playing that in TV mode, but I literally played the entire game in handheld.
It helps that the game pauses when you're like changing weapons and things like that.
Yeah.
Whereas like Splatoon, I think, is objectively better with the Pro Controller. Like, it's playable with the other thing, but I think it's just better.
I mean, Splatoon's about as Twitch shooter as they're probably going to get for the Switch.
Mm-hmm. We will see.
Perhaps. So I think there's like a speed element to it too. Like Zelda, you can take your time and just button as you're slashing or doing whatever.
That's why games like this Mario Rabbids are so good for the handheld mode.
Yeah, but I love it. If you have a Switch, I'd definitely recommend picking it up. It's a great addition to the library for sure.
That'll-
On you.
I played Everybody's Golf a lot this week. I think
Oh,
you
yeah.
forgot to mention it, but
I did, but we can tag team it. That's fine.
Game is way deeper than I thought it was in terms of RPG elements.
Do you like that? Because I
Yes.
don't.
I do.
It's part of the reason. It's part of my complaint. I don't like that when you hit the ball far, you level up how far you can hit the ball now,
'Cause you
and
can
then
hit it further.
And then you go online, and other people have just played more, so you just can't beat them because they can literally just hit the ball further. I'm
Well,
like,
play
that's
more.
not fun. I don't know. Well, it's
Um,
weird because there's so many like online rankings and tournaments
Sure.
and stuff, and it's like you're just not
This-
gonna win unless
this
it's
is
the only
not
game you play.
like the Mario golf games and the Tiger Wood golf games where you're meant to just drop in and drop out online. That I learned. I thought it was just a grab everybody together, put a
No.
controller in their hands, play.
Well, it can be.
Yeah.
But the single player / online world golf thing is more like an open world golf game.
It really is. So I like the RPG elements because I just waste away and play single player all the time. I haven't played multiplayer yet. I probably will when I get ridiculous stats. But I mean, even on like my driver, I've got like 25 power on it or something like that.
Oh,
So-
that's maxed.
Is it?
Mhm.
Okay. So yeah, I've been building up the stats, and it helps. But the game kind of pushes you to use more than just like one club, so it's not just like max your one thing and then you're good.
Yeah.
But I like it. There's a whole lot of customization to it.
Oh yeah.
Lots of unlocks.
One of the best character customization I've seen,
Mhm.
which is crazy. But like my favorite part about it is you pick all the hair and then you use the right stick and it grows the
Yeah.
hair, so you can just grow it to whatever length. Or
Same
whatever
thing
you
with
want.
like facial shapes and
It's
body
really
sizes.
good.
Yeah. Like someone was asking me how much I had played the first night, and I was like, "This is like a Bethesda game. I'm sitting here making my character for hours."
I know. I mean, I spent like an hour and a half making my character. Though it helped that before you even start, they're like, you can change it at any time.
Yeah, that
Okay,
that
thank
helped.
you.
Elder Scrolls 6 golf.
But I mean, it is like that too, because in Elder Scrolls games, you build up your stamina by running and jumping by jumping and sneaking by sneaking. So
Yeah.
it's actually not too bad of a comparison. But I do like it. I kind of wish the tournaments, I guess, in single player, if I've got to knock something, a lot of times it's like the same course over and over and over and over for like 20
takes
matches.
a very long
Yeah.
time to unlock the next course, and the thing that stinks about that is you don't unlock the next course until you play that one a whole bunch, and then you unlock it, and you can go to the new course online, but more importantly, offline.
Yeah.
So, like, when you're playing offline multiplayer, like the regular kind of you take turns, pass the controller, or you have multiple controllers golf game, you can only play on the levels you've unlocked. And it takes so long to unlock levels that I'm like, this is a grind
Yeah.
just to unlock the thing.
So yeah, that was the
Is
biggest
it worth it, kind of?
Right.
surprise for me with this game was realizing that this is a multiple 100-hour game
Yeah,
that I
it really
embarked
is.
on, and I thought it was just a sports game. So
I'll talk a little bit about multiplayer because you said you
Yeah,
haven't
go
hopped
for
in.
it.
So you go into the multiplayer thing, and it basically puts you in a golf course, 18-hole golf course that is 50 players just running around, hitting the ball wherever you can go to any hole that you want. You can spawn golf carts if you've got that far in the single player. You can fish. You can go swimming. You can do whatever. So there's different tournaments. Like if you get a birdie on every hole in that course for that day, you get a bonus. You get a whole bunch of coins to buy stuff. You can you can try to get the high score. Every time you hit a ball, it tells you where you rank.
or
in
the low score.
Yeah, that's true. Whenever you hit the ball and you make it, it tells you where in the world you ranked for that hole. Things like that. And then there's also my favorite part, which is Turf War, which basically puts teams of, I believe it is up to 6 versus 6 together, and it just puts them on, like, it tells you how many holes it is. It might be 3, it might be 4, however many, and it just drops you in, and you can go to any of those holes and hit it, and there's a 10-minute timer, and basically you're just trying to, quote-unquote, take over that particular hole. So it'll be like hole
so
7,
if
8,
like
9,
you
and
hit
10.
a par on something, then my guy from my
Yeah.
team can run behind you, hit a birdie, and we take it over, sort of thing.
Yeah, basically. It's
That's tight.
it's a little bit different in that
Oh,
it is a
yeah.
point system. So like if you get a hole in one, I think you get like 5 points,
Yeah.
and if you get a birdie, I think you get 3 points, and then it shows the total points from your team for each thing. But like it'll be cool because you'll notice like one team, they have like 3 people at one, and they're like ramping up their score on that, and all of a sudden all of your team just start running to that one hole and trying to get it back and take it over. But yeah,
is there like a clan or like a gang, clan, whatever sort of system in the game?
I don't know about that. There might be. I haven't dabbled
That'd be
in
awesome.
anything like
that. That sounds sweet. The turf war thing.
But yeah, the turf wars. I played a whole bunch of matches of it. It's super fun. But yeah, you're just running around to the different holes. You get like 3 teleports each thing. So if you want to teleport directly to one, so you can save it till the end when things get dire, or just use it in the beginning to get a big lead. Like so you're not like running around on the courses.
That sounds awesome.
It's really fun, but it does lead into that thing where you play against one guy and he has a golf cart, and it's like I don't have a golf cart.
Yeah.
This sucks.
Yeah.
So that's the only problem with it, but it's definitely fun.
Sounds like online needs a little bit more filters, I guess, so you can filter out the people who've
either
played as much as me on single player.
Either that, or do it like I like how the multiplayer does it. When you go into multiplayer, it says, "Do you want everybody maxed, halfway, low level?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it just
it sounds like it took care of it.
Gives everybody what you want, but.
It's like the best sports game I've played in a long time.
It's very good. I was surprised as well with how deep it was. The only problem is that it's not on a portable. That's literally my biggest issue with it. Is golfing feels weird as a single player RPG.
Yeah.
Well, and because we were able to get it a little bit cheaper on Amazon because
just a little bit. They messed
and then
up
they
a
gave us
little
$4 back on top of that, so we paid $7 something each.
They messed up a little
for like a 200-hour golf game, MMO. But yeah, aside from that, I've been I usually put in like 3 or 4 hours on that because I can do that while playing or watching something else because it's kind of go back and forth on it.
Yeah.
Other than that, Tuesday to Wednesday night, I guess the beta was real short. Played Destiny 2 on PC.
How's that?
Way better looking than I thought it would be. I'm used to Destiny 1. I've seen enough streams and stuff, and I've seen it being played to tell that it felt like Destiny 1.5 as in terms of the visuals on the console. And I've already gone over when they announced it, and probably since then a couple of times too on here. 30 frames per second locked is blah, like that kills me. So once you get to the computer side, and it already looks better because computer, but you unlock the frame rate, entirely different game.
4K, 60 frames per second.
I wish.
See, I disagree with the visual thing just because the reason the visuals in the first one were the way they were is because it was on PS3 and it was on 360. And this is the first one that's not. Yeah. So like I can easily see it looks much better because they're not trying to make it for PS3.
That's why I threw in that little I've seen it being played as well, like on a console.
Yeah.
So that's why I said the visuals kind of made it look like Destiny 1.5.
But yeah, I've heard a lot of positive buzz about the PC thing. Actually, the biggest complaint I've heard is people are complaining about people with controllers playing, which is hilarious.
That's crazy to me.
Because they if you plug in a controller, you get an aim assist system, and the people who are in controllers are like smoking the people with mouse and keyboard, and they're like the auto aim is way too good.
It's a fair handicap, to be honest, if you're going to play against PC people with a controller. But really liked it.
I played Unreal with a controller and didn't have a problem.
It was real limited. There was one casual multiplayer mode. There was one competitive multiplayer mode. There was two story missions, I guess, and then a strike, which is basically a mini raid.
Right.
I'd say about 15 minutes of like fighting through an area and then big boss. I liked it a whole lot. I played with one other person, so I didn't have like a full, I guess, squad. I guess you can do 4 on the strikes and such.
So you're saying in this game, if you only have one other person, you can still do stuff together?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Splatoon.
Yeah. Hey, Nintendo, take note of that.
Well, I mean, even
does it just randomly put them on the other team?
No. Didn't play too much of the multiplayer. I didn't really want to get into it. It was nice, though, that everyone was very limited to the same items. Everyone had the same exact gun, so you didn't have a guy who's level 50 and you're level 1. You started the beta out max level. And then what weapons you can unlock, you could get drops from the raid, but there's like 3 aside from gear. And the gear only messes with like how mobile you are versus like how much damage you can take. So it's
not like everybody's in there trying to learn how to play the beta and there's one dude with like a whole bunch of legendaries running around just sniping everybody.
And that was a big problem. I mean, any Bungie game's gonna have that same problem too, where like it's just the weightedness is different with the weapens. So if
It's like
everyone's
somebody has
on
a
the
golf club, they can hit the
that too.
whole course, and you don't.
With max drive level.
It's the same problem.
But when everyone's playing with the same pool of weapons and armor and all that stuff, it's pretty interesting. I like it. I hope the final game has a mode where it's just like everyone's on the same level.
They did that. The Crucible ones
Mhm.
were like, that's where you actually were whatever level you were.
Yeah.
I believe it was called Crucible. And then the other ones were, they were like trying to.
Mhm.
But either way, yeah.
Because I mean,
Certain
even when
guns
I
have
played,
like special abilities and
Yeah.
stuff, so it's
that's when you get
difficult.
into the scary stuff.
Yeah.
But when I played the first expansion, or played all the way up to the first expansion for Destiny 1, I think there was like 7 or 8 weapon balances as far as patches that they had to do.
Yeah.
So that was just cool that everyone had the same starter weapons, and you couldn't really customize too much. Just I feel like your skill comes out when everyone's on the same playing field.
That's why I'm still a fan, and I blame Call of Duty still. I'm still a fan of arena shooters, which now even that term is different because of things like Lawbreakers and Overwatch. But where the weapons are on the ground, you spawn with whatever, and you got to pick up the weapons. Halo 5 is like the only one I can think of that still kind of does that
Recent,
system.
yeah.
And Uncharted has a mode that does that called Classic. which
Isn't
is cool.
isn't that how Players Unknown Battlegrounds works? Where you spawn with like nothing and you run in, you got to go into houses and find items.
Yeah.
Pretty
much,
it's not
yeah.
an arena shooter. Well, it is, I guess, by definition. But
It's an arena
yeah.
sandbox.
Yeah.
Right.
Quake still does it too. That's probably
Yeah.
the most recent thing that
Yeah,
still
if that
kinda
was
has
on
that
console, I'd
old-
totally be down. But it's not.
But yeah,
And I
aside
don't
from
plug
that,
my controller into the PC and play Quake and just wreck people and make them all mad.
yeah, I still think that's crazy that people are saying that. But really like the strike as well. It was pretty straightforward, nothing too fancy. The boss, it took you on like 3 different levels. Like you'd beat him like a certain percentage of his health. The level would drop out. You'd go to a different area. He'd change elements and all this stuff. All of a sudden he was weak to this, weak to that. So it was cool. I like that they throw enough puzzle in there to kind of keep you on your toes, but it's not enough to where you die and you're like, what happened? Just that sort of balance between fun and frustrating. But aside from that, it was cool to get drops in the raid, and I don't know if it'll apply to single player or not once the full game releases. I'm sure you'll just get like a badge or something that says I played in the beta.
Yeah. Or
so I don't
shader or whatever they're called.
yeah. I think the story content and the 2 little missions you get to play at the start of the beta had more than the entire first game combined. So they are obviously listening to people and just chucking everything that they can into cutscenes and dialogue into like, oh yeah, I know this person's name now, and it's not just like glowy alien man.
To be
and
fair, and I'm not complaining. I like Destiny.
Mhm.
I don't actually have that big of a problem with
Yeah.
it until they started selling the expansions. The first few hours of Destiny 1 had cutscenes and
Yeah.
story and stuff, and then it didn't.
Yeah.
And that was the part that was not in the beta.
So hopefully
it could be similar.
Yeah, hopefully they carry that torch all the way through. I don't know how long. I forget how long single player was, like 10 hours
I don't
maybe.
know. Sounds right.
So I hope it continues the whole way through. Another complaint probably too is I know Peter Dinklage's little, what are they called, ghosts, the little floaty dudes, robots. The one you get in the beta is really annoying too. So I don't know which voice actor it is, but it seems to kind of hit that same nerve that Peter Dinklage's character hit.
I never really had a problem with his ghost, honestly. I didn't care.
He dropped a lot of lines. He wasn't. I don't know if he was coached very well in the whole voice acting thing, because I mean, as far as acting goes, he's phenomenal. But when you switch over to what we're doing right now, it's a whole different ball game. So I don't know. But I'm not going to knock him too hard on that until the final product comes out. But the good thing is that people like me and Kellen, I guess, who would probably play Destiny 2 on PC, we get a whole month to wait and wait for reviews from the console version that comes out.
That's a good thing.
Yeah,
I think it, because I'm still on the fence. I'm likely going to buy it.
Okay, that makes more sense.
But it's not like the PC version is going to release and I'm playing against console people that are 30 years ahead of me.
Right, yeah. I don't think there's any sort of cross-play in that game.
Right.
And
yeah,
I don't think it needs it, because I think it's...
The communities are big enough.
Right, yeah.
But I like the fact that I get a whole month to wait so I can see how it comes out, what's broken on release, and then like if they fix it, because I'm sure if they fix something,
Or just how to cheat the whole
That
game.
Well,
Well,
hopefully the YouTube people don't put up those videos until the PC version comes out, so I can get the loot caves and whatever else. But I think if I had to buy it at the same time as console people, I would buy it based off the beta. But I like that whole, like I said, that month of padding where I can see what was broken and hopefully if they fix it, because Bungie's good about responding to stuff at least.
Yeah.
So
I'd expect it to be good.
So I think they got a purchase out of me. I'm not going to go crazy and buy some super fancy version. I'll just get basic.
The super fancy version comes with a backpack.
It does. It comes with a satchel.
Satchel, that's what it is. It's like a side bag with all this crazy stuff on it.
All right.
Hard pass.
we got another 40-minute what we've been playing going on. We're getting bad at that. But anyway, let's move into the news. Luckily, there's not too much. We'll start off with the PlayStation Plus for September, which is, once again cannot come out at the same time as the Xbox games with Gold list, of course. But we got an interesting one with Infamous Second Son, Strike Vector EX, Truck Racer, Handball 2016, We Are Doomed, and Hadafo Boyfriend, which I don't know if you guys know what that is.
What's it called?
Hadafo Boyfriend. It is a...
Hadafo?
Hadafo.
Boyfriend.
It is a dating simulator where you go to school and you date pigeons. Just birds. And people were talking about it when it came out. They were excited.
I think I'd rather play Dream Daddy than
I was
that
going to
game.
say, I didn't even know
excited?
that game existed until last week, until I saw something online about it. No, there's a dating sim called Dream Daddy.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, I refuse to buy it because of what it is. But if you give it to me for free, I'm good. So
now, in that case,
I'm
what is
totally gonna play
your
it.
position on Dream Daddy?
I don't know what that is.
It's a dating sim where you can get your dream daddy.
That doesn't sound appealing to me. But
More
dating
or-
a pigeon?
More or
Much
less
more
than
down.
pigeons.
But would you
Well-
play a spider dating sim
Well,
if it was free?
Oh,
Probably not. But let me say this. There's a twist in this game.
Mm-hmm.
And
You're
that's
the pigeon.
That's what everybody talks about is you need to play it because
Oh.
there's an awesome twist, and I don't know what the twist is, and I want to know. So I'm gonna play it. I'll report back and let you know how it was. And apparently it's on PS4 now because it's on PS4 and Vita.
me and Nick are anxiously awaiting.
And then
I'll leave that to you.
the next bonus game, they do 6 and they're doing 7 this month because they're giving out rigs for everybody for PlayStation VR, which is one of the better PlayStation VR games. And I will be hopping back into rigs the day it comes out because there'll probably be a bunch more people online. And that game is a really well done. You don't get motion sick even though you're running around shooting and being crazy. Sports arena game, and it's awesome. And,
I like it.
Yeah, I'm happy that they're giving out. I hope this is a test to see how many people play it after, and be like, maybe we should give out a free PSVR game every month too. So we'll see. Yeah, very good. Infamous Seconds is awesome, by the way. So like,
I'll grab it.
it's a very.
I'll remember this time.
It's a very good month. Next up, there was the Nindies showcase. I believe. Nindies, whatever, which is basically indie games for Nintendo that have some sort of like exclusive bonus, or they're coming first to the Nintendo, even though a bunch
There
of
were
them
so
are
many
not,
good ones announced.
even though a bunch of them are not. Well, is there any that you wanna bring up? I have a list of the ones I like.
Super Meat Boy Forever.
Yes, so
a
Super Meat
big one
Boy
for me.
Forever is a endless runner, but it's a new Super Meat Boy. I imagine just as hard, just as punishing, but it is endless runner Super Meat Boy game. I'm not super interested in it, but I wrote it down because I know people like it.
SteamWorld Dig 2 with a release date, which is very soon. It comes out in September. I think that looks good. Morphe's Law.
Now
looked
we got
great.
our shooter. So this is I think it's third person.
Yes, it's third person.
Like,
You can see your person.
Twitch shooter where
If
when
you shoot someone's body part,
it steals it.
it shrinks and it grows bigger on you.
Yeah.
So if you shoot someone in the head, your head gets bigger. If you shoot them in the chest, their chest gets bigger, and then it adapts to it affects the level. like you're not going to be able to get through doorways and stuff
Yeah.
if you make yourself too big. I'm actually super excited for this game.
I liked at the very end of the trailer, like the whole trailer is them showing people in motion fighting, growing and shrinking. And literally like one of the last screens is 3 people next to each other. And one of them is just like giant legs and a tiny torso and head. And another guy just has giant arms and the arms are like linked down on the floor.
Yeah, so
It
I
looks
don't
great.
know exactly how it works. Like, if you go to some sort of like quote unquote bin and like drop off the extra size because there's some sort of like god statue that you're trying to make taller than the other person's, or if that's just literally the score. Like, it
I'm not
adjusts
sure.
according. But anyway, looks really cool. I hope it's good. It reminds me a little bit of Drawn to Death, which is a little scary. But we'll see.
Yeah, there was they did a whole lot of ones that I don't really remember the names of.
Here, let me throw out some.
Yeah,
of them
throw out some of yours that you
No More Heroes. Travis
Do you
strikes
like
again.
me some Touchdown Man?
that trailer did look very good.
Yeah, it was nice.
An awesome like, what is this? Oh, cool. Playing through indie games somehow ties into the game. They're playing like Hotline Miami and stuff, so we'll see how that works. Then probably, well, the one I was second most excited for was Dragon Marked for Death, which is the next Indie Crates game. And it is a side-scrolling kind of like beat-em-up RPG, I guess similar to like a Dragon's Crown, except definitely more like Shovel Knight 8-bit looking teeny sprites. But full RPG by them, which sounds awesome because I don't think they've made a game I don't like. They do, Mighty Gunvolt and all that stuff. So they're really good at side-scrolling games. So.
Oh, I do remember seeing that one. Yes.
Yeah. And that is up to 4 players cooperative gameplay, so that'd be fun. And then the biggest one for me was Shovel Knight, King of Cards, which is the final campaign for the Shovel Knight quadrilogy. And it is King Knight's story, how he became the knight to be, and apparently it's got a lot to do with cards because there's a whole card game built into it, which is awesome because all their other stuff has been pretty good, so I'm hoping it's a sweet card game. We'll see.
So just to highlight on that a little bit, and I know that they've spoken to why they're not doing it, but it really bugs me that they went down this route of Plague Knight, Spectre Knight, King Knight. Now we're not doing the rest of them.
I agree. So the only reason they did these is because this game is still a Kickstarter, and they're still doing their Kickstarter play. Like they were like, we'll do a campaign for Plague Knight if we hit this. We'll do a campaign, and like they
hit
didn't
'em all,
hit the At the same time, I get that. I want them to do like, I don't know how you do it though. If you make it a new game and it's just the other campaigns, I would be totally okay with that if that's what they want to do.
Yeah.
But it is strange that there is 4 campaigns and it's Shovel Knights, King Knights, Plague Knights, and Spectre Knights, and you're like, what about Tinker Knight, which would be awesome?
Yeah, Polar Knight,
Knight,
Mole
or
Knight, yeah.
Propeller Knight probably
Yeah.
wouldn't be very
Oh,
fun.
Propeller
but,
Knight, yeah.
But yeah, like
You just have a ton of propeller rats. and you're
like
just-
where's their story? So I don't know if they want to make it like just a separate thing, like maybe called like Shovel Knight Boss whatever, and they put
Yeah.
them all in there or something. That would be sweet.
the boss pack or something.
They're not getting paid. Like they're giving these out for free to
Yeah.
everybody because that was part of their Kickstarter thing, and they're finally done. So I'm excited to see now what they can do for actual more money.
Well, see, what I would like them to do is to like not release one every like 6 months or whatever anymore. Just like do the rest of them on their own time, figure it out.
No, yeah, that's
And
what
then
I
just-
want, and then sell it separately.
Just release it
'Cause it's
physical
not part
and
of
have
your
it literally be
Kickstarter.
Shovel Knight and then all the knights around him. And just
God, it
like,
would be
it's
so
like
cool.
Shovel Knight, the complete story.
Yeah,
or
they
something like
changed
that.
it to Treasure Trove once they added
Yeah.
the 3. But I would love another one with the other campaign.
physical
even
release
if
with
even if
everything.
it's the same Shovel Knight campaign and like the other 5 knights, and then a physical copy with all 8 or something. That'd be sweet. But yeah, you could. I want them to sell it separately because I feel like their $20 for that game is you're good. You made 4 games now.
Yeah.
Like you
Well,
got it.
That's my thing. I think if they wait and just release everything, and they even if they put out Shovel Knight, the complete package, physical for whatever systems they want, and even if they charge like I honestly think that they could get away with charging $40.
Oh, easily.
And everyone
Easily.
would still buy it. I bet everyone who has already played it will still just buy it for $40 again.
Yeah.
Which was insane, but it's true.
Yeah, absolutely. I own that game on Vita. I own that game on PS4. I own that game on Wii U, and I want it on Switch. Like, sweet. And I'll just throw it in right now. There's new Shovel Knight amiibos. I have the original Shovel Knight amiibo right here, but there's Plague Knight, King Knight, and Spectre Knight's amiibos, which look really good. and I don't know what they do in game yet. I imagine it's a similar function.
Which, did you watch the announcement trailer for it? Because the announcement trailer was great.
It was, I don't know about great.
I think it was so funny that, Nick, did you see it?
I did not.
So there's this guy who obviously collects amiibos, and he's just got like walls of amiibos, and he picks up each of the amiibos.
It's Egoraptor.
Yeah, and he like picks up each amiibo with a new one, and he like kisses it, and he's like, "My precious, you're so good to me." And it's just so funny that they take that collector aspect of amiibos and just like play on it in this trailer.
Yeah,
it's
I'm
funny.
I'm excited for these. What he does now, he used to unlock 2-player mode, but now 2-player mode's unlocked for everybody.
Yeah.
So what he actually does is turns the game more into an RPG. He makes a RPG character out of Shovel Knight where you level up as you play, and you unlock dozens of new moves that are not in the game at all. So you can only get them through the amiibo.
Is that in this the new one for Switch?
That's what he does.
But does that work for the one on Switch?
Yes.
Cool. I'm gonna scan that before I leave today.
Well, it's locked to him, so
No!
it doesn't work like that. It doesn't just unlock the mode like he is my RPG guy. But anyway,
Wrecked.
Steal it.
I imagine that the new set does the same thing, only for their respective campaigns.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah, those are the ones that I was interested in with the indie arcade things.
Yeah,
but
I don't really think that there were too many other ones. There were some interesting ones, but nothing that like really like stood out to me.
It was just that Morphe's Law one surprised me, and I was like, ooh, Shovel Knight surprised me because I did not expect to see it that early, and it's coming. It said early 2018, I believe.
Yeah, I think it did too. Yeah,
which is surprising to me. I don't know how they do all that so well,
I mean,
so quickly.
I think they probably map out a lot of it at the same time. Like if they think,
I'm
if they
sure,
think of ideas during
but
a
it's
different
actually
campaign.
really good. And their
Yeah.
Kickstarter didn't make that much. It only made like $300,000.
Yeah, but
And
you got to think is they've also sold a ton
I know
of physical
because their
copies.
$300,000 game was amazing, so they sold a lot. But like you think about some other Kickstarters that are like millions. I'll
Yeah.
use Mighty Number 9 as an example, even though I like
Ugh.
that game. Like that was like three point something million dollars.
And it was garbage.
Shovel Knight was $300,000. It was not garbage.
I like this guy.
Well, think of the 300,000 Shovel Knight did and the quality they made.
No,
and then
that's
look
what
at the millions they made and
That's
the
what I'm
quality they
saying.
made.
I think Shovel Knight is one of the best games
Yeah.
of the generation. Like Mighty Number 9, no. But just look at that
No.
price difference. That's insane. Okay, those are all the ones I had. Did you guys have any to add? All right. Next up, some VR talk. We got some dates, and I just want to kind of go over them. So first, Fallout 4 VR, which is the Vive exclusive, is coming December 12th.
That's weird. Why is it Vive exclusive?
Because they're
Gotta give 'em
because they're
something.
doing exclusives. Yeah,
They got the worst one, so
It's
that's
coming
fine.
December 12th, and it will be coming everywhere else later. We just don't know when.
Oh, okay, cool.
Doom VFR, which is coming to everything, is coming November 1st.
Cool.
Skyrim VR, which is exclusive to PlayStation, is coming November 17th. Bravo Team, which is the Until Dawn Supermassive Teams army shooter co-op 2-player. Like I imagine, what's that? Army of Two? Is that game?
Yeah.
Something. I imagine it's going to be similar like that with like the voice chat and everything. Coming December 5th. So they're all coming.
So
This
you
December.
and I are going to be at our respective houses, ducking behind our couches.
Oh yeah,
And
it's going to be so fun.
all right, I got the guy on the left.
And then the Inpatient, which is the prequel to Until Dawn, is PSVR exclusive, confirmed, and it is coming November 21st.
That was
A
the
lot
one
of
with the
people,
trippy release trailer, I guess if that's what you want to call it.
Oh, was that that was the weird one where you were just like in this like weird. Was that the one with
You're in
Elijah
the-
Wood?
No.
No.
Oh, am I thinking of a different one?
Well, yeah, because it's not the one with Elijah Wood. No, the trailer had a doctor leaning over, and he was just talking to you, and then there's flashbacks of all these memories. And basically,
Oh, I do remember
the
that
way
one
that
too,
it works
yeah,
from
yeah.
people who've played it.
That one
at
was spooky.
PAX,
That one was trippy.
Yeah.
the way
I
that
don't want to
people
play that one.
When's the Elijah Wood one come out?
I don't know. That's an Ubisoft game, though. The one from this one, Inpatient, is a prequel to Until Dawn, and it plays similar
Yeah.
to Until Dawn in that, like, it's flashing back between present and past, even though it takes place before Until Dawn. And you're answering questions like Until Dawn.
Yeah.
So people actually upset that this is a VR exclusive and really want a non-VR version.
Buy one.
And I am so happy about it.
Support the platform.
Exactly. Like, you need exclusives to push a platform.
Yeah.
Xbox. And, like, I'm super happy that it's staying
We
exclusive.
lost
What's so
Greg.
funny?
When you said it was a Ubisoft game, all I thought was Elijah Wood plus Rabbids VR battle.
You're an idiot. That's also a phone VR game. What is it called? Something Test, right?
I don't know.
I'm interested in it. I
just thought it looked. I thought
year.
out of all the ones they revealed, I thought that one like was the most like. I wonder what that is.
Well, yeah, because they didn't.
Wander
show you
away.
anything.
I will not go anywhere near it.
I'll play it when it comes out and let you know. I don't even know if you play it. I think it might be a movie. Next up, something that made me happy. Catherine 2 was sort of teased. Not directly teased. Definitely not like, oh, there's definitely a Catherine 2 in the works.
Yeah.
But Atlas did a stream basically talking about their new game. It's the Persona team. They're like recruiting people to work on it and everything. It's not a Persona game. But
we've got enough of those coming out
that
for a little bit.
That team is doing something else. But in between Persona 4 Golden and 5, they made a little gem called Catherine that I love very much. And basically, the stream opened with one of the characters sort of from Catherine. The way Catherine worked was it opened up as a television show, similar to something like American Horror or Twilight Zone, where it's like an anthology story. So every story would be different. And she's like, today's story is about, Catherine, blah, 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 blah. And you go in and you play that story. So the thought of it is that this would be like, a different story hosted by the same host in the television world type thing. But at the end of it, she says, hey, am I going to get any more work soon or something along those lines? And it fades to black and the Catherine theme song starts playing. And I was like, ooh, goosebumps. So maybe Catherine 2 is coming. That would make me very happy.
Or maybe a remaster, maybe something like that too.
That's fine. I'll totally take that. I would
think
love
that's
a
probably
remaster
more
with
likely.
everything unlocked.
Yeah, I think that's probably more likely, but I think the Catherine 2 would be... I mean, I think it's the same type of twist of when the Nintendo Switch was getting announced and everyone thought Splatoon was going to get ported, and then in the reveal they're like, Splatoon 2, and nobody expected a sequel. I think it would be that same kind of thing. If they give you a remaster, cool, but if they announce Catherine 2, even better.
Yeah. Or Catherine dancing all night.
That would actually be... Catherine's music's great. That would be sweet. I'd totally play that. That Catherine DLC for Persona, oh boy. That's a real thing.
P5 had a lot of good DLC.
It sure did. Moving on, let's do some questions and go over the releases and get out of here. Our single most anticipated game this year. Our single most... So, 2017, what game
Who has
do
an answer
you
first?
want the most?
I mean...
I know my answer,
That's
but
remaining?
it's boring. Yeah, this year. That's coming out this year.
I don't think my answer is very exciting. But
Go ahead.
I mean, I'm super excited for Mario Odyssey. Very, very excited.
Shit.
I think...
Now I gotta make a choice.
Well, I mean, and the reason why I'm excited for it is just because I think ever since Mario 64, and maybe you can even count a little bit of Sunshine, we haven't had a game that's going to be like this.
See, they said that and they put it in that spectrum, and then I've watched the gameplay and it does not look like those games to me. It looks like 3D World. Like the camera is not like behind and low on Mario like it was in Sunshine and 64. It does that like up thing where it locks to different camera views and stuff, and I'm worried because I don't like 3D World. I think that's a bad Mario game.
Yeah.
And I'm worried it might be like that. That being said, I'm getting it the first day and I'm going to play it. But
I don't know. I just think that the way that they have all the different worlds that they showed and the way they showed them, and the fact that like you have that little like, what do you call it? The ship. The hat ship.
The Odyssey.
Yeah, the Odyssey. I just feel like it can't not be. Do you know what I mean? Like they've shown so many pieces that like lead it more toward it being than it not. And I agree with you. I think there's certain teases.
The camera is
that
the
it's
problem.
Not. Yeah, but a lot of it's also. I mean, there's a few camera things that they show you in the gameplay, but I still think it does kind of look like that.
It looks like a hybrid, which is what 3D World was. We'll see. I said, I'm getting it. I'm going to play it. I didn't like 3D World. And if this ends up being like that, I'm going to be very disappointed because they specifically, like, not us, they specifically said 64 Sunshine Odyssey. So it would be their fault, not mine, for assuming it.
Mr. Kevin, are you still thinking between your big three?
I got it. Yeah, Mario Odyssey I'm excited for, but I'm a little worried. So my next one was Skyrim VR. I was talking about that. But after hearing people play Skyrim and Doom and stuff at PAX, it seems like Doom is the the one that's going to be the best out of all of
Yeah,
them.
I mean, Skyrim is kind of, you set your own pace. If you want to just get fight, then you can do that, or you can run around for 200 hours and not touch anything. But Doom is just like, you are in it.
Yeah, and they built it specifically from the ground up for VR.
That's crazy.
They have the same, like,
nuts. I
what's it
can't
called
believe
where you rip people apart when your health is low or whatever? They flash red.
Berserk
and you,
mode or something?
you can do
I just
all
call
that.
it Rip and Tear because it's the song.
You can do all that. You can.
Nice.
It's all teleport based, but you teleport so fast
Yeah.
that it's almost like you're sprinting,
Yeah.
basically.
Sure.
And when you hurt somebody enough, you can, similar to Unreal Tournament, where you shoot the teleporter and you can teleport to
Sure.
it. And if you shoot it in somebody and then teleport, it's an instant kill.
Mhm.
You can do that. So I'm super excited. It has its own story that's linked to the Doom universe and everything. So probably Doom, but it might be, depending on when I see more footage, the Impatient, the Until Dawn thing, because I do love Until Dawn so much. I really like VR.
Yeah.
I really like horror, but I don't know, like, how long is that going to be? How much Until Dawn is it? Like, there's questions I have about
That's fair.
that. So.
Yeah, Doom, even playing just the regular version that came out, last year? That's the one where I said I had headphones on and I was like sweating playing it just because it's so intense. And there's
Imagine
just,
being in VR where you're already
So I don't know. I'll need like a Camelback or whatever attached to me so I can just have fluids at all times. But I don't know. It sounds intense and I'm pretty excited for it as well as
What do
far
you
as
got?
VR goes. If I can confirm or have it confirmed for me that
This is my guess
Xenoblade
for
Chronicles 2 comes out this year,
It
that
is
will be it.
Still supposed to. Yeah.
It is still question marks at the moment.
That was my guess for you.
Really?
That's right, yeah.
I like this guy. He can stay. That would be it. But because it's not confirmed as of today's date, or probably by Monday when this releases, or Tuesday,
Yeah,
whenever you're
probably
going to put it up. Battlefront 2, Star Wars.
Wow. A game I don't even know if I'm getting.
No, I'm definitely not even going to get
Destiny opened up a multiplayer itch for me.
That's so funny. You're like, yeah, Destiny was really good, and now I think I'm going to get it. And now my most anticipated game is
Destiny, I
Battlefront.
like PvE.
Ugh,
I
Sure.
like cooperative, like finish out the dailies that you can, get the armor, and I don't really care about multiplayer. But Battlefront 2 is going to merge a lot of different universes together, as far as, or timelines, I guess is a better way of saying it. Because, I mean, we saw the E3 demo where someone's running around as Rey, and then you
For
just
4
see
seconds.
Darth Maul flip over and like just stab her to death. You're like, this is awesome. This is the best thing I've ever
And
seen.
then the next reveal they did was one battle map for like an hour and a half.
No, that was that. Yeah, and then they have the space battles and stuff
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
But like that's not even done by the team.
Mhm.
But I mean,
They
if
they
you're
got
going to show a reveal
a
like
different
that of
team to do it.
gameplay, why wouldn't you go, here's 10 minutes on this map, here's 10 minutes on this
Have
map?
you ever seen EA do anything?
no,
They did the
but- yeah.
Battlefield's an old game, and they played that for an
yeah,
hour
they just
on
did that
stage.
at what was it,
Just
Gamescom?
Insane.
Yes.
They just did Battlefield on there too. So I can't
Yeah.
answer that for them. But I am excited for the game. I haven't played a multiplayer game really. I don't really count Splatoon because that's not that
It's a
competitive.
multiplayer I mean, I'll agree with that.
But I'm ready for like a big AAA title, and I really like the first one. It just kind of lacked a hook to keep you around for multiple weeks.
Oh, it had a
months.
hook. It was just called DLC. You just had to pay for it.
Yeah, you just had to wait like a couple years and buy the Ultimate Edition.
So I'm hoping this one's a bit more of a full game. But yeah, that one's
I
my
think it
most
will be.
excited. Multiplayer, and if I can split it off into a most excited single player, it'd be Xenoblade, if that happens.
Cool.
But it
I like those
seems
answers.
less and less likely the
I agree
longer
with
it
that
goes
too.
on. But then again, they were just like, I mean, a few months ago we were like, is Mario gonna release? I don't
That's
know.
true.
It'll
Same
probably
with-
be
Same
January.
to me with Fire Emblem Warriors. I was
Yeah.
like, that game's not coming out, and now it's up for
I'm,
pre-order and all
I'm
that.
hoping that one's a
okay.
hidden gem for me. Like I kind of understand how Warriors games work now. I did the Hyrule
I like
thing,
Hyrule
so
Warriors.
yeah. So I'm hoping like my expectations up here just from playing the other games. So I hope it just demolishes that.
Yeah, like I might even get that, and I don't really like Fire Emblem, but
Mhm.
similar to Zelda, I really like
You
the
played enough-
aesthetics and the music.
You've played
and all
enough
that
Smash
stuff.
Brothers to know all the main characters.
That's true.
so-
That's true. Next question: when do you think we'll see the PlayStation 5 and/or the Xbox One X2 and/or the Switch 2? Will they even exist?
Switch 2 doesn't mean like a
No.
Correct.
1440p
So
version.
let's
Okay.
break it down. Let's start
the next
PlayStation
generation
5.
Okay.
of this.
Let's start PlayStation 5.
Well, I think that it's more complicated than that. Like, in all honesty,
I don't.
Okay.
2020 for PlayStation 5.
PS Pro hit 2016,
Mm-hmm.
2019 then.
Ooh, sooner. Because I think Death Stranding is a PS5 game.
So
You can do your complicated
Something that they
talk.
will actually call PS5.
I think. So here's my issue with it.
Go ahead.
Is I think it highly depends on. It kind of piggybacks on Microsoft in a way, and the way they're taking it, because I think that kind of highlights a little bit the future of the next generation and the fact that they're saying.
Agree.
Yeah.
When we get to the Xbox, my answer is going to be different because of that. I think PlayStation goes PlayStation 5, new launch games.
Well,
here it is.
Okay, so in that regard, then, if that's where it would be
Personally,
going,
that's what I
Well, then
think.
here's my thing. Then right now, the whole push is that they just released PS4 Pro, and the reason why is because it supports 4K, right? That's
Sure.
really what it is, like 4K capable, whatever.
Sure.
So the whole big thing is that what is the PS5 going to do differently that really pushes it to the next level that the PS4 Pro can't do?
Play 4K Blu-ray.
Well, see, but that's what I'm saying, though. But like, so what are we waiting for? Are we waiting for 8K? Are we waiting for some huge?
I think
like,
they're waiting for the PS4 to taper off. The PS4 is a hot commodity. I don't know why you'd release the PlayStation 5 right now.
No, I agree, but that's
Yeah.
what I'm kind of saying is that, like, I think the only way they even agree to release a PS5 is if either one, games that are being developed are now past what we can make, which is like if Death Stranding doesn't run well on PS4 Pro, right? It's the next capability, or it's 8K, and that's being like supported by consumers.
Yeah, 8K is very far off.
But that's my thing is I literally think other than those two ways, like, why would you
So let
release new
answer
hardware?
me this: the PlayStation 3 and the PlayStation 4 were
Sure.
both 1080p,
Sure.
both completely capable of doing all that. Why did they release the PS4?
Well, I think that in that regard, that's talking about the advanced in the games, because I don't think every PS4 game would run that well on PS3, or at least look.
Yeah, I don't think
to the same
every
capability.
PS5 game would run well on PS4.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. I think that if they have that jump in technology, where, you know, like Death Stranding is a good example. If when you're playing Death Stranding, if it's going to look significantly better based on hardware, then that's one thing. But I think that's one big push right now is like you see the Xbox One X talking about we have all the teraflops and all this crazy stuff, most powerful console. But like, is it really going to look that much better than the PS4 Pro?
Fine.
Do you know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
you got to remember too about all this, and this goes for the other two systems as well, that it's not just like a straight line as far as technology. Technology is exponential curve, so that's why it was like, man, it felt like 10 years between the release of these two systems. Why is this one every 3 now? Because I mean that's just how technology is going to go. And so like maybe the further it goes until we get the 8Ks and the 16Ks and whatever else after, the biggest difference is going to be processing speed.
Yeah.
And so loading, I mean, to see a loading screen now, like if you think about everybody's golf
That's always bothered
has some
me.
loading screens.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Those are going to be the things that disappear.
Resident Evil 7's loading screens are
Oh yeah,
terrible.
they're miserable. But at least they tell you how to beat the boss when you die.
I will say, just a little shout out. Everybody's golf loading screen,
Yeah.
awesome. Let you practice golf.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
So things like, I mean, when Andromeda was coming out this year, a big part of all of the articles before it hit was you're going to be able to run around the ship without loading screens and without, because normally you'd get to a door, it would sit there, it would beep, 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 and then open, but you can tell that's just loading the next portion of the ship. So that's what this next curve is going to be, is that
I
loading
hope.
screens just
God,
don't exist anymore.
I would love no loading screens.
Um,
God of War, no loading screens.
Yeah. So that's going to be the biggest difference. Like, it won't be like, oh, I can see this guy's acne better in this
Bloodborne,
game or something.
Technically, no loading screens.
Technically.
Unless you die.
Then they're bad. They're real bad.
I guess in that same regard, I kind of like the aspect that Microsoft's going with their whole.
You
our
like the
system-
cell phone market.
No, what I'm saying is that I like where. Well, I mean, I guess so, depending on.
Yeah,
what
I mean, that's the
Like,
cell phone.
what they're saying
business
is that
model.
we're going to release a console. It's going to be another iteration of the Xbox One, and we're just going to keep increasing backwards compatibility.
See,
We're gonna
I'm on the opposite. I hate that. I wish they never released the Pro. I wish they never released the X. Just wait 3 years and put out your next console. And I think so. We can talk about the X, I guess. I think.
Well, what did he? 2020, 2019.
Well, he doesn't think. He thinks it's going to be iterative.
So like I said, I think it depends on technology. I think if they were going to, like you said, do a PS5 and put it out, I do think 2020 is the date. I think that there was, what was it? Was it 6 or 7 years between PS3 and PS4?
This is a little more than that. That was the longest life cycle, but that's because there was a recession in the middle of it that really slowed it down. I think this one's going to be long just because it's selling like crazy, and I don't think they want to.
Why turn it off if it's the best thing?
Yeah, I don't think they want to do anything about that.
I think 2020 is probably a safe bet if I was to put a date on it.
Yeah, that's what I would think. Now, Xbox, I think, is going to be iterative, and I think they're going to work similar to iPhone games, which I think is a terrible model. But I think they're going to be like, here's the Xbox One X2, which would be abbreviated Xbox 2, and suddenly the Xbox One doesn't seem like a terrible name anymore, because then you could do the Xbox 3 and it would be just like a cell phone, the way that they do it. And they're going to be like, this plays every game from the past, here it is, but the past will not play these games well, and that's just part of it. You need to upgrade at some point. By the time Xbox 3 comes out, the 2 might be cheaper, and you can pick that up, and it's just going to cycle down just like a phone. I hate that model. I think that's not great. My favorite thing about a console is that when I buy a game for my console, I know it'll work, I know it'll play, I know it's optimized for it. That's part of the reason I buy exclusives, because they're typically the most optimized for it. I don't like that, and I think it'll be very interesting. I kind of hope Xbox does it. I think it'll be very interesting if Xbox does Xbox 2 iterative and PlayStation releases the PlayStation 5, which is a brand new console with a launch, and see which one does better.
Because that'll literally...
I already know which one will.
No,
it's the
PS4
PlayStation,
for sure.
but I think that would be interesting at least.
Well, and I think that just kind of goes back to the fact that PlayStation's been doing this whole about the gamers thing for so long. That's why they're doing so good now. But Microsoft keeps trying to do all these other different things. Like they did different when they did home console with like all your TV and everything integrated. Yeah. They're doing different now if they do the iterative
media platform
thing. Yeah, they're trying to do different things every time. And I think that's why they're showing worse and worse every time. It's because they're not focusing on the one key element of a game console. And I think
Switch, focusing on gamers now.
Yeah.
Doing well.
Exactly.
Shocker.
And
surprising.
I think the thing about Microsoft is I think that they're never going to switch to that. I think, like you kind of said, I think they're just going to keep doing their own thing.
I think they're going to do, honestly, I think they're going to go iterative, and if it doesn't work, I think they're going to sell the Xbox.
Well, that's what my answer was going to be, is I don't think we see anything past 2020.
For Xbox?
If even this, Xbox One X, I think is just dead.
I'm interested. It sold out. The pre-orders, they said, are very well, but like we don't know how many pre-order, blah, blah, blah. I'm interested when it launches to see the reception of it. Because I am curious. I'm not going to get one, but I'm curious.
I'm probably going to get one just because I never bought an S. So I have an Xbox One, but it's like old.
See, that was my problem, or my theory too. Like, I didn't buy an S. I have the old one. But like, there's so few games I want to play because they don't have exclusives anymore that I can just buy them on PC. And I'm like, well, I have a PC that can run them. I could just sell the Xbox I have, buy the games on the PC, and not have to worry about it.
No, I agree. I think that I'll probably pick it up just for the fact of having an Xbox and still being able to get those. But I don't know if, like Nick kind of said, I think that if it works, it's going to work and it's going to be great for them and they're going to do awesome with it. If it doesn't,
that's the big problem, is they don't need the Xbox to do well.
No.
Right.
Microsoft is still going to be in every single business office.
Is Sony's biggest moneymaker. Xbox doesn't do shit for Microsoft.
Yeah.
No, they
and
don't care.
Nintendo obviously.
I assume it loses them money, but I don't know that for a fact because they have Xbox Live and stuff. I'm sure that generates money.
And Nintendo needs a game console to be Nintendo. So.
Well, I just think it's funny too because if you think of like Microsoft, they did so well with the 360. So well.
Yeah.
And it literally is just
to be fair, the Xbox One's doing better than the 360 still. But the PS4 just makes it look really bad, honestly. It's kind of part of the problem.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of launched this.
Their public
gamers
reception is bad.
Yeah.
Perception is bad. And that's their problem.
I feel like the model that PS4 and Switch are following was kind of 360's model in a way. Mm-hmm. And then they were just like, we did this great thing. We set a good trend in the industry.
Now people just buy
media
us forever.
platforms. Let's go.
Yeah.
So
Switch 2, I don't think no time anytime soon.
Yeah, I agree.
I think we
get the new Nintendo Switch in 2019. Seems early, but maybe end in 2019. We get the new Switch.
I don't think it'll be 2019 for sure.
Yeah, just to give you like, hey, we made it a little beefier.
Updated Switch.
Yeah,
and I think that's what we get.
Switch round
and
2.
I don't think
1080p mobile or something like that.
I don't think Nintendo's ever done like a successor minus the Super Nintendo. Like they do like GameCube and then N64. They're always different. It's not like PlayStation 1 and 2.
I wouldn't even count Super Nintendo as a successor because you can't play any of the same games.
I just mean like, it's
a direct,
Nintendo, Super Nintendo. Like it was clearly like the next thing. I don't think we're going to get a Switch 2 at all.
No, I don't either.
My point. It'll be like some other weird gimmicky thing that may or may not work.
See, and I don't think, in all honesty, I could see just with how shaky Nintendo had pre-Switch with Wii U, and how they went like from a super high off Wii to almost the lowest they could go with Wii U, and now back up again. I think that they might just stick with the Switch. I could see them just, beefing up the stats.
If there's
anyone keeping this model.
Oh, so you think they're going to do the Xbox model on the Switch now?
To
be fair,
no,
they did that on the 3DS. They were like 3DS, 2DS, new 3DS, new
That's why I said 2019 is probably not too far.
No. And I don't mean like I think we could see a Switch 2, but I think for the foreseeable future, I don't see them doing like here's the new Nintendo thing that's not Switch at all. I think the Switch is so good for them, and it brought them out of a very dark place, and it's so receptive by gamers.
I think this brought
people
them
love it.
Well, yeah,
that's true. This was also very good, but so many people love it, and it's so widely receptive that like, why would you then go, okay, we know you love this in-home console with portability. We're going to do something completely different now.
Nintendo likes shooting itself in the foot a lot, though.
That's true.
That's my one thing against them. If there's any one of the three that needs to do the iterative process, if that's what we want to call it, it would be Nintendo Switch. Yeah. Is the one that needs to do it.
It'd be sweet. I'd totally upgrade if they made one in a year and a half that was just
bulkier.
Better. Not bulky, beefier. And
if they just made the same one and slapped a battery on it that could last 10 hours between...
Yes. Well, that's the thing is
I'd pay the extra $100.
I think this is so good, and there's easily pieces of it that people would say, yeah, I would buy one if this was better or if this was better. And I think that just gives them the ability to do it.
Honestly, it's a little weird. When the consoles launched, I just thought of this. Like, the PS3 launched, there was 4 models of Like, it was like they pushed all those out at the same time. And, like, even 360 had 2 models. Yeah. And the Wii eventually got lesser models, which they went the other way. But then when, like, the PS4 launched, they're like 1 model. Yeah. When the Xbox launched, they were like 1 model. And it's almost like they just waited and released the other one a little bit later.
Yeah.
But I don't know. All right. Let's talk about some game releases. There's not too many important ones this week, and then we can get going. But let us know what you think about the PlayStation 5, if they're going to have a release date for that, and most importantly to me, the Xbox. Are they going to do an Xbox 2, like brand new console, or is it going to be iterative? Because I'm very iffy. Or is it dead? Let us know. Okay, time for some releases. Like I said, not too many major ones this week. I don't even know a bunch of these, but there is a Rainbow Six Siege expansion.
Kind of wish I had played that game.
Doing way better than I thought it would. I thought that game was dead on arrival.
Maybe it's a question we can
do
at some point, or a research topic more like it. But like Tom Clancy, his fan bases.
Yeah.
My God, like those guys will support it from your PS2 all the way through.
Best-selling game of the year was Ghost Recon.
Yeah, Wildlands.
Don't know a single person who even played that game.
There are fanatical people that they are just diehard. I mean, like I said, when I played Wildlands, that 1 or 2 hour demo or beta, whatever it was, I thought it was pretty cool. It was just coming around the same time as a bunch of open world games, and
everything else.
I couldn't really justify like playing that over a Horizon or a Nier or Andromeda or just all this other stuff that was just open world. I was like, I don't know. But it was good. I mean, the elements of it. You just have to have your other diehard Tom Clancy boys with you, and there you go.
The Tom Clancy clan.
Dude, they're fanatics. I mean, that's awesome, though,
that'd be cool.
Brand, I guess, gets that sort of following.
That'd be cool if they had a website just called the Clancy Clan, and that was where everyone
Clancy Boys.
Next up, The Lost Bear, which is a PlayStation 4 game. I don't know what that is.
Poor bear.
Next up, probably Game of the Year, Knack 2. I played the demo of Knack 2 a couple days ago. It is Knack again with way more moves, way more like ways to do things.
And
They make
co-op.
they make
Meaningful co-op.
Yeah, they make a joke about it where in the demo, when you get to the end of it or whatever, they're like, how'd you save the world last time with 3 punches? And he's like, I can jump. And like, that was it. But in this one, yeah, you've got heavy moves and light moves. It feels like a God of War, like with the combo system and everything.
I'll pick that up.
It is kids' God of War. And I like Knack 1, yeah, so I'm totally down for Knack 2. Songbringer is coming to PS4. Destiny 2, Xbox One and PS4. No Switch for Destiny 2, huh?
No, not a
Tokyo
chance.
Dark coming to PC. Beat the Game coming to PC. The Bridge coming to Switch. Like I said, not too many Happy Dungeons coming to PS4. Double Dragon 4 coming to Switch. That's a cool one.
Do you like me some Double Dragon?
Drive Girls coming to the Vita. Oh, there's always a Vita exclusive on every week. Monster Hunter Stories coming to the 3DS.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pick that up.
And Academia School Simulator.
For
I did 18 years of that. I'll pass.
PC. Oh, early access.
you did
Fuck
18
off.
years?
Not.
Kind of college.
Oh, okay.
It's early access, so I don't care because early access is dumb. But that's it for the releases.
Cool.
Knack 2. I mean, I'll play that one.
I'll pick up Monster Hunter Stories for 3DS.
I'll play it with you since it's got co-op, but I'm not buying it.
Yeah, I thought it looked very cool.
It's only $30 or whatever, so that's sweet.
I need the $30 more. I think.
I did like that Everybody's Golf has the Knack insert in it, and then they released a demo the day Everybody's Golf came out.
yeah.
And I was like, that was at least clever. I mean, you're going to get murdered by... everybody's going to get Destiny over your game that comes out the day before, but whatever.
Yeah. I'm interested to see Destiny numbers.
When does Destiny come out on a Wednesday?
Isn't it the 9th?
It's the 6th.
Yeah. If that 6th is right, then yeah, that's a Wednesday.
September 6th, Destiny 2.
Weird.
I knew it came out the day before Knack, or after Knack.
Mm-hmm.
Knack's a Tuesday. So
Like every other game.
Destiny's like Harry Potter did that, I believe, or Twilight, or one of those movies.
Same difference.
They came out on like Tuesdays because they're Harry Potter or whatever. Hunger Games. I forget what one it was. I think it was Harry Potter. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this episode of the Press X Podcast. If you watched all the way to this point, be sure to like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. Thank you for being here. Nick,
Yeah, I want to go play some golf.
thank you for being here. Craig,
Anytime.
and thank you so much for watching.